Okay, so with the tenor sax, right, I'm just going to go fast on this one. You can go back and watch the alto sax one. And this is just the big brother of the, or big sister of the alto sax. Okay, it plays in a different key, and it's quite a bit of an instrument, right? It gives you all those low notes, which is really cool. Okay, so the first thing is you want to take the reed, right? It's a nice sizable reed. It's almost the size of your tongue, right? Take the flat side, not the fun side with all the curve, right? But the flat side. And just put it on your tongue, right, the entire time. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to put it down because I need to actually talk to you, right? Okay, so with this, right, with the case, right, I'm putting this on a chair. This can easily be your bed if you want this to be, right? Put it on your bed or put it on the stool. If you have to, you can put it on the floor, but really it's easier to work with if it's within reach, right? Okay, so with these old school cases, right, all you do is simply lift up, okay? If you're doing this, right, you know the case is upside down, right? So these latches lift straight up like that, okay? So you open this up, okay? You make sure that your neck strap is ready to go, okay? And you might want to practice on a backpack or on the neck strap itself just a few times so you know how it actually works, okay? So you pull on this, right? And you pull the nut up if you want it to be tightened, and you pull it down if you want it to be loosened. Okay, and as a nice rule of thumb, keep this hook a little bit lower than your sternum, which is that little tiny bone that's between your ribs. Okay, all right. So first thing you want to do, okay, and this is different than a clarinet, right? Okay, you take the mouthpiece. Okay, you take the mouthpiece without the ligature. Make sure the ligature is nice and loose, right? Okay, you want this to give you a little bit of space, right? So the ligature, yeah. Okay, you take the mouthpiece. You apply the reed, okay, flat side to the opening, okay, and just like that, okay. All right, so if you come closer, right, you can see that the black is showing a little bit. You hold it with one hand, you take the ligature with the screw side to the right, right, you put it down, okay, and as best you can, don't move the reed, okay, and give it a little bit of a knuckle. You see that? If it tightens over here, it's wrong. Okay, so you want to do this, right? Okay, and then you screw it. Okay, and I always get asked, how tight do you screw it? Okay, tight enough that the reed doesn't move around, but definitely not so tight that it pops, right? And then now your ligature is broken. You put this onto the neck. This is called the neck. Okay, and this is cork, and if you want to apply cork grease to it every couple of weeks or so, right, whenever you need it, right, it'll make it nice and easy for you to scooch on. You see that squeak, right? That means it needs some cork grease, but I'm not going to do it right now, okay? So you take this, okay, and don't worry about how much it goes on, right? Just, you know, a good amount. We'll talk about that later when we start tuning and all that stuff, okay? But you take this, put it off to the side, okay. All right, now that the hook, the neck piece, is right here under your sternum, right, you take your hand, okay, you take your hand, open hand, and you put it inside the bell of the instrument. This is the body of the instrument, this is the bell. Okay, you pick it up, and you support the instrument with your left hand, wherever you need to, okay, and there's a little ring right here that's very important. You take that ring, okay, you can put it on your leg, and you put the hook onto the ring, just like that, right? Don't put it anywhere else. Oh my God, don't put it anywhere else because you could break the instrument. Okay, put it on the ring, okay, all right. And while we have you in this position, take the entire neck and ligature and mouthpiece and reed, and in a nice, gentle, pushy down motion, right? You're gonna do that, okay? All right, and then you sit like so. Okay, now this is really tricky because this instrument hangs so low. You have to sort of find yourself on Zoom space, you know, so that you can show your fingers to me when we have sectionals together. Okay, so how do you check whether the instrument is too high or too low? Okay, like I said to the alto sax players, if it's trying to kiss you in the neck, right, you try to give you a hickey or Dracula sucking your blood, right, it's too loose, right? Okay, and if you try to see why you want to do this adjustment before you connect to the instrument. If it tries to bop you on the forehead, it's too tight, okay? So it wants to just sort of kiss you, yeah? It wants to go right here, okay? Notice the way I'm sitting. There's this huge gap between the back of my chair and my back. Okay, now how do you hold the instrument? 3 fingers up here, 3 fingers down here. Your left hand always goes on top, left hand on top, okay? All right, so this is gonna be the first circle, skip the little one, the second big one, and the third big one, okay? So you do not touch that. That's gonna be for later. Okay, so left hand, 1, 2, 3, stays on the platform, right? Okay, until you need it, yeah? With your right hand, it's gonna be pretty obvious. Boom, 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 thumb rest. Boom, 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 thumb rest, okay? Now, very, very, very careful, everybody. Okay, do not forget this. Okay, when you sit down, you want to protect the instrument with your hip so that you don't go clunk, right? You don't want to do that. You want to do this, right? So that it's nice and squishy when you play. Okay, all right, and then you test the sound. Okay, all right, so real quickly, when I take this apart, okay, I want to take this entire structure apart. Okay, you can loosen this. Okay, this nut, right? This wing nut that keeps it. And you take the structure and just put it down. Okay, don't worry about that for now. Okay, take your right hand, put it in the bell, unhook. Okay, swing it around. Okay, support it with your left hand and gently put it down into the case. Put the neck strap back in. Very important, don't get lazy with this part, otherwise you'll wind up with a moldy reed, right? Do not put pressure on this octave. 90% of the time when saxophone players go, my instrument doesn't work, right? It's because of this pressure, right? So be careful about that, right? I'm not there with you physically, so you gotta check yourself with this. Neck, put it down, okay? And loosen this, take the reed out, okay? Wherever you keep your reed, it can be on your desk, or you can put it back in your case, that's okay too. Okay, you take this, put this down like so, plop it, latch it, and you're done, okay? And that's how I should look like. That's how you should look like as a tenor sax player on Zoom Space, okay? I could see all of your fingers, right? I could see most of your face, right? And you can actually see the screen. All right, guys?